Hey there, ladies and gentlemen, guys and girls, and all motorsports fans alike. We are here at Michigan International Speedway for the 7th round out of 12 for Season 1 of the Speed Racing Series. We're certainly glad that you can join us here today. It's a beautiful and gorgeous day here for racing in pure Michigan. For the last round on the schedule at Watkins Glen, it was Teejay Handley who was the star of the show, getting his first win on the season for he and that number 21 Rambler Racing team. So he got to bask in the victory of glory last week, but Charles Sandfer is still the hottest driver on the circuit. He holds a 121-point lead over Handley in the points, with Luke Martin in third, the pole sitter for today's 100-lap race. It should be a fun showdown between all the manufacturers today. They're going to look to come out on top here in this battle. So without further ado, let's fire those engines up today.
Drivers, start your engines!
Well, there you go, ladies and gentlemen. The command has been given, and the 28 drivers of the Speed Racing Series make their way off pit road and onto the surface of Michigan Speedway's 2-mile oval. Anyway, there's the home state hero, Luke Martin, claiming pole position for today's 100-lap race with a quick time of 36.13 seconds. I'm sure a lot of his home state fans cheered very loudly in the grandstands as he took the pole position from Zachary DeLello right there in the 15 Toyota. Your points leader, Charles Sandfer, will start this race in 4th, as his title rival, Teejay Handley, he qualified 7th in that number 21 Ford. Zooming through the next few cars here, there's another Michigander, Ryan Griffin, who's just outside the Detroit area in that number 01 Toyota. He'll start 17th. Looking to have a nice home state return. And back to the track is the 43 car for Lake Effect Autosport. But with a new driver, it is South Carolina's own Glenn Mixon making his debut today, starting to the outside of his teammate Jesse Turner in row 10. And the remainder of the field lies right there. Sebastian Kugelon and Diego Yepes taking up the final row. So there's a lot of representatives from each of the 4 manufacturers today, from Chevy, Dodge, Ford, and Toyota. Since a lot of their production lies in the state of Michigan, it's a very automotive-friendly state. So there's going to be a lot of pride at stake to see who can claim victory today and get a nice boost in their paycheck, possibly. But anyway, here comes Martin and DeLello and the rest of the field. They pick up speed, and across the line they go. We are Green Flag Racing from Michigan. Here comes Luke Martin. He will lead the first lap over Harrison Riley. But Riley's going to put the contest to him right there. There he goes underneath for the lead in that number 12 Toyota. Charles Sandfer up there battling with Lucas Catano. Oh, you see Sakamoto tap the wall there in that 71. But she should continue on right there. Catano going to challenge Harrison Riley for second as he drifts a little bit high through the middle of 3 and 4. That's going to cost him a little bit of speed on exit. But not only will there be a lot of pride at stake for all the drivers and their manufacturers today, but as I mentioned, Martin and Griffin, they're the home state drivers, so they'll look to have a good run today, and Martin will look to keep that 54 in the lead the whole way through. His teammate Lucas Catano, the Charlotte winner, is now under pressure from Zachary DeLello. Both the Martin Motorsports cars and the pole position cars holding up 1, 2, 3, 4, with Charles Sandfer in 5th. Lane Sanders challenging James Ellison for the 6th spot. Then you got Teejay Smith, Teejay Handley. And then completing the top 10, you got a side-by-side battle between Kyle Collins and Aidan Smith. But as the race draws on, it'll pretty much be down to what kind of pit strategy. Oh, Kyle Collins, he taps the wall out of turn 4. He's definitely going to drop out of the top 10 with that. But as I was talking about, it'll basically be between pit strategy and when these drivers will choose to pit. It's going to be a 2-stop race, so it'll all determine when these pit stops will occur and what tire strategy these pit crews will try to play out. But in the meantime, the 12 of Harrison Riley, he's gotten around Martin for the race lead, but Martin's going to try and get back to him here. And side by side the line to finish lap 5, give it to the 12 of Harrison Riley. Running shotgun in the field is that 89 Dodge of Sebastian Kukulon, the New Jersey native. Just his rough season continues here in Season 1 as he comes out of Turn 2. That car does not look to be fast at all. He had the slowest qualifying speed of a 38.7, and he's only just going 186 going into Turn 3, so Kukulon really hoping for a good turnaround after this race, and that Bishop Family Racing team really going to have some improvements to work on when they head back to their shop. They'll have to make a lot of changes on their cars by the time Round 8 comes up at Road America. Just ahead of him, Mitchell Collins, not really doing that much better. That Young Motorsports team, they're also in dire need of an upgrade too. Same can be said for all these cars back there. You got RJ Bishop, the teammate to Kukulon. Diego Yepes, this is pretty uncharacteristic of him. He's only running 25th. Just barely hanging on to that spot ahead of Bishop, Dylan Young, and also Gatlin Downey. These are all the cars 23rd on back. They're just hoping and really praying for a caution to come out. That way they can catch back up to the leaders. But all of these cars from 23rd on down not having the best of outings so far. How about this for a feel-good story? The 00 of Nick Breeding running 12th at the moment. That's a fantastic run by this Starcom team. And he's even running 3 positions ahead of his teammate Kyle Collins. But Breeding, the driver last in the points out of all drivers who have made every race this year, for him to be challenging Aidan Smith for 11th, that's got to be really awesome to see for Breeding. Like, this is definitely a good run that he's having today. So if things fall his way the rest of the race, he might be in the run for a top 15 finish, and that could definitely help that 00 team to stop the bleeding. That could be the very thing he needs to elevate his program for the final half of the season. Martin and the rest of the leaders catching up to Mitchell Collins. Wow, Martin had to get loose right there to avoid that 22. They have already lapped Sebastian Kukulon a couple laps ago. But oh, look at this. DeLello being caught behind the 22 of Collins. And that's going to allow Charles Sandfer to overtake him for 3rd. At least for a couple seconds. DeLello's going to try and use that high line to get some momentum off the corner. Speaking of that, his teammate Harrison Riley putting up another challenge to Luke Martin for the lead. And Catano's also drawn back up to these top 4 cars with them going by Mitchell Collins. Harrison Riley nosing ahead. Just barely. The top 5 pretty much all by themselves. 6th place, Teejay Smith in the 24. He leads this little pack of cars with Sanders, Ellison, Brett Howe, Teejay Handley, and Aidan Smith. And also Nick Breeding, just lagging behind all those guys. But Riley's got enough of a run, and here comes his teammate of DeLello to give him some help. Yeah, he's still deciding. And now, never mind, leaders almost were going to go 3 wide. Oh, but Riley has to check up in the middle of 2. And Martin surges back to the lead again. Harrison Riley makes another challenge on Martin for the lead as they approach more lap cars. Oh, look at Martin just go up almost against the wall. He's almost touching it, but I don't know about the line he's taking. He's choosing to go to the outside of R.J. Bishop as Harrison Riley zooms on by. Yeah, talk about a big-time error in judgment by Luke Martin. Picking the high side, and he's going to lose the lead at an outstanding rate. As now he's dealing with Diego Yepes, but Yepes goes down low to block Sandfer. And now Martin goes up high, but he's got Dylan Young in the way. Already just 22 laps in, and these lap cars proving to be just a thorn in these leaders' sides. And now Martin stuck behind Dylan Young. Sandfer will move up to second. DeLello for third. And now both the Martin teammates, they're fourth and fifth. Yeah, I gotta say Luke Martin probably could have used better judgment in passing those lap cars, as he is now down to fifth. But the 12 of Harrison Riley, that's just what he needed. He pulls ahead of Charles Sandfer, and he hopes to stretch that gap. Look at this monster-sized pack of cars, no pun intended there. But Zachary Fitzwater in the 86th leads them all in 13th. Kyle Collins is also in this pack, Yoshiko Sakamoto. There's the two Lake Effect teammates, Glenn Nixon and Jesse Turner. Turner carrying new colors and Exide batteries for the first time this season. So pretty nice looking ride right there. Christian Vargas in the 1. That Midas Ford Fusion. Ryan Dagby. And here's Ryan Griffin in that 01. The second Michigan-born driver in this race. And he'll definitely need a good run out of everybody right here, because he's on the heel of back-to-back last-place finishes after losing an engine at Dover and crashing at Watkins Glen. Look at him just even making it to the end of this race, I bet would be a big accomplishment for Griffin, although I'm sure he'd rather want to be racing in the top 10 compared to racing for 15th. But nonetheless, Griffin is still doing A-OK, continuing on in this race. Luke Martin trying to find his way back up to the lead. He got by DeLello and Catano. Now he's making the pass on Sandfer for second, in hopes of catching that 12 down and reclaiming the lead that once was his. And for Catano and DeLello, they really shouldn't be battling side by side like this. If they want to stay in touch with the top three, they got to draft with each other and work together. But I think Catano's getting a little greedy. He wants to make the pass on the 15 of DeLello. But the smart thing for him to do would right there be tucking in line behind DeLello, and for them to draft their way up to the leaders. And hang on, in the leaderboard, is that Nick Breeding in the top 10? I see it is. Breeding in the top 10 officially in that Permatex Chevy, as they've encountered a bunch of lap cars right here. And look out, they're going to go 4 wide. Handley, Breeding, Houck, and Aidan Smith. Aidan Smith better look out here. Oh, he's going to tap the wall out of turn 2. But no harm, no foul. Looks like everyone's going to continue on safely. But Smith in that 68, he better watch his right side of his car and better not damage it more. But nonetheless, a fantastic run by Breeding. And he's showing he's got a fast Chevy. He's definitely saved his stuff for this race. And we'll see if he'll be in the cards for a top 10 finish possibly. But we'll have to see and find out. Oh, wow, Ellison getting close to Dylan Young, as they all try and split these lap cars once again. Oh no, Aidan Smith, I guess he may have tapped that wall a little bit harder than he thought, because he's bringing that 68 car to pit road. This is technically an unscheduled stop. Although the good thing is, he's now off sequence with the rest of the field, so this could be a chance for he and his pit crew to play up a different game of strategy and try and split his fuel runs differently, because everyone will have to make 2 stops in this race, guaranteed. So we'll just have to see what that 68 team does with them being off sequence like this. Zachary Fitzwater in the 86, he also had to make a pit stop. unscheduled, so he's following suit with his teammate. So both Smithville cars making unscheduled green flag pit stops in Fitzwater. Yeah, he is now marked 2 laps down, so both the 86 and 68 well off the pace on lap 34. And he's going to get swallowed by this pack. But right now, Brett Howe having a solid run in that number 9 Dodge for Universal Racing Enterprises. Howe coming off of a great 11th place run in his home race at Watkins Glen for round 6. So here comes Howe. Like, if it ended this way, Howe will get his career best result as he finished 9th at Charlotte for his season best run. Ooh, the number 3 of Ellison bopped the wall out of turn 2. And he's going to kiss that position goodbye to Sanders and also Nick Breeding. Oh, looks like we got an indication for pit road. Luke Martin going to duck to pit road for the first time on lap 43. So Riley's going to assume control of the lead again. But Martin will make his first pit stop. It is scheduled. The fuel run is about 43 to 45 laps. As Martin will come in for his first round of pit service. And Joseph Strigley's also come down in that 61 Dodge, so both Martin and Strigley are the first 2 scheduled takers on pit road. Teejay Smith also gives up some position to pit. Same with Brett Howe, Ryan Dagby, and Glenn Mixon. A couple lap cars all right there. Oh, wow, but you see Riley and Sandfer, they're both caught up behind the 98 of R.J. Bishop. Looks like Riley will still duck ahead just for now. Is Downey, Yepes, Catano, and DeLello, they're going to try and pit a little bit sooner here. Hopefully they'll gain time on the rest of the leaders this way. Lane Sanders, Teejay Handley, Collins, Christian Vargas, Ryan Griffin, and Mitchell Collins. And now here comes Harrison Riley and also Charles Sandfer. So with that being said, everyone should be rotating through their pit cycles now. So we'll just have to see how all the leaders and the rest of the field stacks up once this is through. Well, almost everybody came to pit road, but here's Nick Breeding. He elected to stay out 1 lap later ahead of Riley and Sandfer. So Breeding, if he's got enough momentum on his side, he should be able to cross the line and potentially get a lap lead. That'll also help his case in point standings. R.J. Bishop's pitted. Turner, Roush, Sakamoto. Ellison's pulling away. But now we'll look for the key players of Martin, Riley, and Sandfer. There's Luke Martin. And Nick Breeding did cross the line to lead that lap, so attaboy by that 00 team to lead 1 lap here. There's Luke Martin. We also got to find Charles Sandfer and Harrison Riley. Where are they? There's Sandfer. He's just leaving turn 4. And there's Riley. He's just leaving turn 1. And there's Luke Martin, as he's in a hornet's nest filled with lap cars. You got Collins, Kukulon, Fitzwater, and Downey, as he should be able to get by them with no problem. And I think your new leader, once these pit cycles are through, will be that 54 of Luke Martin. As we get an update on scoring, yep, Martin is the leader. How about that? His teammate of Catano's in second, DeLello in third, Harrison Riley in fourth. How about fifth place? There's Charles Sandfer, a considerable ways back in fifth. And I guess that 16 team must have stumbled at some point during their pit stop. And now Sandfer, he might even lose a top 5 spot to Teejay Smith and Brett Howe. So a poor set of pit stops by Charles Sandfer. Look at how fast that 24-9 catch him. So Teejay Smith and Brett Howe, they know this is their prime chance in order to make up points on Sandfer. As they'll look to pass that 16. There's Lane Sanders. He recycles in 8th. Nick Breeding. A great pit stop by that Starcom team. he gets to lead a lap during the pit cycle, and he gets to go out in 9th place when it's all done, and Teejay Handley in 10th. Hold up now. Martin's getting held up by Fitzwater in the 86. Lucas Catano making a charge up to his teammate. As we are now halfway through here at Michigan. But Martin's going to breeze by Catano's going to breeze by Martin. It's a little bit of an inception right there. But you see Fitzwater, he's desperate to not go one lap down. I mean, he's technically on the tail end of the lead lap. He did pit off cycle to the rest of the field along with his teammate Aidan Smith. Smith is still on the lead lap, but they'll both have to pit sooner than everyone else. As Fitzwater is one lap down, so we will have 19 cars on the lead lap, but Catano is your new race leader. Can he make it 2 wins on the season? We're 48 laps away from finding out. Martin still having problems with getting by Fitzwater. Now Zachary DeLello, he's reeled in that 54. And I'm not sure what Fitzwater's deal is. I mean, he clearly doesn't have the car to keep up with Catano in the lead. I mean, the best thing he could do is just yield 2nd and 3rd, because there's no way he's going to run down that 20, all on sheer power. As there goes DeLello and Martin, or they're trying to go by him, but I guess in the case of Fitzwater, if he's going to be a lap car, he may as well cause as much havoc as he can. As he's certainly doing so for Martin. As Martin's already had his troubles with lap cars today, he definitely doesn't want to have more fall in his lap. As Martin loses more time to Catano, as he tries to fend off DeLello for 2nd. Here's Charles Sandfer, caught behind a lot of cars here. Cars that he isn't really typically used to racing with today. As he's fallen way back, 16 seconds behind. He just got by Lane Sanders for a position, but Brett Houck and Teejay Smith, they've officially passed that 16. As Sandfer is now fallen down to 8th. Or 7th, excuse me. Yeah, Sandfer in 7th, and there's your battle for the top 5. It's between Smith and Houck. So that's going to bring a lot of confidence and pride if you get a top 5 here today. And I think Teejay Smith, yep, he'll work the lap cars to his magic, and he's going to leave Brett Houck out to dry. So Sandfer's going to get another position back. But I don't think Sandfer, he'll remain in contention and win today. It'll pretty much be down between Catano, DeLello, and Luke Martin for this win. Here's Kyle Collins. He's gone 1 lap down now in that number 99 Tide Chevy. So we will now have 18 cars on the lead lap. And Catano's next target will be Ryan Griffin, because Griffin is pretty much running all by himself in 18th. DeLello in 2nd. DeLello did get that runner-up at Daytona. And I believe he got another top 10 out at Darlington, but he's been struggling to find consistency and just pairing together some good runs back-to-back. He finished 14th out at the Glen. And DeLello, he'd really like to find some momentum and join the top 10 in points again. But he'll really have to make some bizarre work in order to catch Catano, because Catano, he's just picking up these lap cars almost like they're nothing. But Griffin, you see, he's pretty desperate to remain on the lead lap as we now approach lap 60. And I think Griffin, he'll probably concede to Catano right here. So Griffin is now 1 lap down. Working down the backstretch on lap 63, DeLello is right up to the rear bumper of Catano. Here comes that Dr. Pepper Toyota Camry, Zachary DeLello. He'll just tuck in line behind that 20 car for now. As Catano looks to be in great shape to collect win number 2 of the season. He won in dramatic style out at Charlotte with Luke Martin finishing second behind him there in a Martin Motorsports 1-2. So awesome effort by that team out there in North Carolina. As they work by Yepes right there. There's Collins and Griffin. But there's third place Luke Martin. He's still losing time. But partly in thanks to that 86 of Fitzwater blockading him. But Martin, he's now 3.5 seconds behind the top two. And with now 3 lap cars in between he and those front leaders, the uphill battle is going to be even steeper for Martin. Riley running 10 seconds behind in 4th. Where's the battle for 5th? Yep, it's still between Teejay Smith, Brett Houck, Charles Sandfer, and Lane Sanders. It's pretty much everywhere you go around this track, there's some sort of battle taking place. There's Nick Breeding trying to fend off these drivers behind him for 9th. Scott Roush closing in on that double zero. Handley, Ellison, Sakamoto, Dagby, and Aidan Smith. Well, don't forget about Aidan Smith. He did pit on lap 30 after making contact with the wall a couple laps before, so he'll be pitting like much sooner compared to the rest of these drivers. Same with Zachary Fitzwater. Right now, Aidan Smith 15th. Battle for 16th, Jesse Turner by Christian Vargas. And I believe that's all the cars we have on the lead lap. Yep, just 17 cars. As Catano and DeLello go underneath the 89 to Kukulon to put him another lap down. Working through more lap traffic. Here's a short rundown of all of the lap down cars as we approach lap 70. Here's Kyle Collins and Ryan Griffin battling for 18th, just ahead of Luke Martin. You got Zachary Fitzwater right there. The 43 of Glenn Mixon. There he is, making his debut. Not doing too bad. At least he's kept the car in one piece and is just doing his goal. Although I'm sure he'd like to go for a top 20 finish. That'll at least make him feel proud. But just ahead of him, there's Joseph Strigley, who's 2 laps down. Dylan Young racing right there. He's dead last in the race. So I don't know if he had an unscheduled pit stop at some point, but a poor showing by Dylan Young in that Wawa machine. Gallon Downey in 23rd, 2 laps down. As Catano was put Turner and Vargas 1 lap down, and he's actually putting some separation between he and DeLello. So Catano just showing his mastery over this field here today, with now 28 laps to go. And Catano, he and that 20 team, like, he's definitely doing his job, putting as many lap cars in between him as possible between he and DeLello to give himself more of a buffer. And man, just look at how far Martin has fallen back. He's now over 6 seconds behind the leaders. So he'll be aching for a big change on this next set of pit stops. Oh no, he's coming down right there. Luke Martin. Doesn't look like he has an issue, but Martin now on pit road on lap 73. But at least, you know, with this, he can make it on fuel the rest of the way, and I guess I kind of called it in right there. Scott Roush is also pitted. Doesn't look like anyone else coming down, but Martin gonna go out of the box on pit strategy, and he'll make some big changes in order to run down Catano and DeLello the rest of this race. Here's another taker on pit road, Aidan Smith. This is about when he was expected to come down pit road anyway. He pitted on lap 30, so now on lap 75 he will also be good to go the rest of the way on fuel. And yep, and there's his teammate Zachary Fitzwater. He's also going to join him. So both the Smith-built cars hitting on the same lap, and they will both be set to go the rest of the way, but we're going to see how everyone else shakes up on their pit stops, which should happen at least before lap 90. Oh no, it's Charles Sandfer. impacting the wall out of turn 2 from 5th place. Oh, that's a rare mistake by Charles Sandfer, and look at how quickly Brett Houck and Lane Sanders have caught him. Oh no, I think Sandfer's making the indication of pit road. Oh, what a shakeup this is going to be. Sandfer hits the wall in turn 2, and in comes that 16 UPS Dodge to pit road on lap 78. And then that 16 team just frantically trying to get ready on top of their pit box as Sandfer unexpectedly comes down pit road, and oh man, I'm sure this is going to put a smile on the face of Teejay Handley and Luke Martin and just about everyone right here. As with that damage sustained on the right side, that's going to cost them even more time, as they'll have to repair that and get it as good as they can to race-ready condition. But Sandfer with a big hiccup with just over 20 laps to go. Well, look at this, ladies and gentlemen. DeLello has weaved his way through all that lap traffic, and he has run down Lucas Catano again. Oh, and Catano's going to get followed up by Diego Yepes, as they're both going to have to duck inside that 77, put him away. But now DeLello has another opportunity. This is just what he's looking for, to get his maiden SRS win. Catano's already got one, but DeLello wants to add his name to the winner's list himself. He'll have 17 more laps to try and figure out a way by. As the two leaders, they'll have a whole nother gaggle of lap cars to go through, as it's just the 20 and the 15. Harrison Riley, he's a considerable distance back in 3rd. There he is. I mean, still a nice effort by that Aaron's team. Teejay Smith holding down 4th, and Brett Houck, this would be a career best result for sure if he can hang on here, and this will be his first ever top 5, as Sanders and Fitzwater are struggling to race each other. But that is your top 5, with the race laps winding down here, and also pit stops. The second pit stop cycle should be looming also. Lucas Catano approaching more lap cars. 5 of them to be exact. You got Ryan Dagby, Nick Breeding, Yoshiko Sakamoto, Teejay Handley, and RJ Bishop. He'll have all of those drivers to get through, as DeLello really hasn't put much up of a fight lately. As these are cars all battling for 8th. As Sakamoto looks to take 8th from Handley right there. But Breeding's going to go down low. He's going to impede the momentum of that 20. So he's looking to put up to 8th place, 1 lap down, and he may just even help Nick Breeding try and get that 8th spot from Sakamoto. It's still 13 laps to go. DeLello trying to strategize all of this. Maybe look for a run underneath that 20. Oh, nope. Looks like Catano's going to make the signal to pit road. DeLello's going to get by him right there. So DeLello will lead this lap, but Catano will duck to pit road on lap 88. He's also got Brett Houck, Glenn Mixon, Ryan Dagby right there, right behind him. Diego Yepes coming down, Kyle Collins. But Catano has come down pit road first, and where's DeLello going to shuffle out in all of this? DeLello enjoying a clean lead. But here's where he's going to come down pit road right here, 1 lap after Catano. So this will be everyone's final stop. DeLello is in. So where will he come out in relation to Catano once he leaves pit road? So where is that 15? Looks like he's already out of the pits. There's DeLello, with Catano right behind him. And Catano had a better pit stop, so Catano zooms by DeLello again and into the lead with 10 laps to go. So at this point, I'm just sure it'll be all between who can negotiate lap traffic the best And DeLello's a second and a half behind Catano. So he'll have a big uphill battle to try and catch him for this lead as the laps click away. Man, this race has gone from bad to worse for DeLello. He's just having the toughest time ever trying to get by these lap cars of Sakamoto, Dagby, and Mixon. He's already drifted behind Catano by over 2 seconds. And Catano's got a clear racetrack ahead of him. It'll be a long way before he catches the 50 of Scott Roush. But dang, like, DeLello's got to be living his worst nightmare right now. I'm sure he probably realizes this win is just fallen out of his grasp, as the battle still rages on for 8th between Handley and Ellison. But ahead of all those guys is Lucas Catano, looking for another win, giving Martin Motorsports their second overall win. And that'll allow him to climb up in the points even more, as we're now at 5 laps to go. 3 laps to go from Michigan International Speedway. Catano approaching Scott Roush with that 50 car 2 laps down, or tries to, but I think at this point he should play it conservatively and just ride this one out. He's ahead of Zachary DeLello by 2.5 seconds. Very, very comfortably. Catano sits just outside the top 5 in the points. And his win at Charlotte, it was kind of a unexpected win. It really came out of nowhere, him taking the checker flag at Charlotte. But now, like today here at Michigan, I think this is a more legitimate case that of how Catano is really good at driving these cars, as he still looks to pull away from DeLello, as he's in the midst of a battle for 8th place between Ellison, Handley, and Sakamoto, so far being held by Ellison. But Catano out of the 4th turn. This time by, he'll see the white flag. Catano with no competition at all, threatening him for this win. That Bass Pro Shops Ford Fusion looking clean and swift as he goes around this 2-mile speedway. Through 3 and 4 for the last time. I'm sure all the emotion can sink in for Lucas Catano right now as he comes out of turn 4, zooming to the checker flag. Lucas Catano will grab his 2nd win of the season here from Michigan. Congratulations to him and that number 20 Martin Motorsports team. Easily the most dominating performance we've seen out of Lucas Catano this season, as he'll finish 1.8 seconds ahead of Zachary DeLello. For 3rd place, how about Brett Houck? What a great job by him. He picks up the podium finish today. Teejay Smith 4th, and Harrison Riley falls down to 5th. Luke Martin fading down to 6th, not the desirable result he wanted for his home state race. Lane Sanders in 7th, the final car in the lead lap. And Teejay Handley won out in the battle for 8th, ahead of Sakamoto and Ellison. But we also saw Charles Sandfer have issues on lap 78, hitting the wall and then having to make a pit stop, and he'll finish 17th. Easily his worst outing of the season. He's finished top 5 in the first 6 races, but not anymore. That streak will end today, and Sandfer will lose a bunch of points to both Handley and Martin, who finished 6th and 8th right there. So this race definitely, even though it had no cautions, it still had plenty of moments that shook up the race. And it's going to be a wonder of how the points will look with Sandfer having those problems and a lot of the drivers in the field capitalizing on it. Well, that wraps up our today's coverage from Michigan here. Glad you all could join us for this 100-lap race. It was good to follow along with all the strategies being played out and everyone taking their turn and making all sorts of gambles in pursuit of victory. But the one who was able to get it right was Lucas Catano. He gets his second win of the season and his career and gets some momentum on his side when we head to Road America for round 8. So until then, we will see you all later. Your points and results will be coming up at the end of this video. Congratulations one more time to Lucas Catano and the number 20 team for their victory here today at Michigan. Our next race will be at Road America. We will see you folks there.